Hi, I'm Tori. Today I'm going to be talking about my favorite strange little worlds I explored this year in 2025 across movies, games, books, and other things that I just really liked. To start, I need to talk about my favorite Amanita games. I played a lot of their games this year. They're a small independent game developer based in Czech Republic, and they just focus a lot on like point and click puzzle games and have such beautiful worlds building and a silly charm that I really, really love. I played a handful of their games, but I have two favorites. One of them is Cimaros 3. The first game is free if you want to play it. It's very short, but it gives you a taste of what's to come in the third game, which is really beautiful and so much more developed. I just really love how there's this tactile feel to the game. It's really cool how they mix mediums. They'll take pictures of nature. You'll interact in that world. For example, there's like mossy hills that you roam around, and I find it really cool. The word Samarost in Czech literally means a piece of wood, but the figurative word means like wanderer. And those definitions of the word really captures the essence of the game. You play as this little creature and he's just so cute. I just really love little details. Like if you click on the wrong thing, he'll be like, and I just like find it really charming. The music is amazing. One of my favorite things about this game is the music, like I mentioned, but not only that, each achievement that you get in the game corresponds with the sound. Once you click on your achievement, a sound will play, and if you play a bunch of sounds together, it creates this really beautiful song. So I really like their games because they do things like that really make you 100% the game, and I like revisiting things and really exploring, and I find that really fun. Another game I really like by them is Machinarium. You follow this robot who's trying to look for their partner. It's another point and click game, and the world is just really cool. The puzzles are pretty challenging, and I really love the art style. It's hand-drawn, really fun, and the music is amazing in the game. So those are a couple of my favorites. The next game that I really, really, really love is called Kuru Kuru Kurin. It's a Japanese game that came out in 2001. I found it at a vintage store. I honestly didn't know what it was. I just picked it up because it was cute, and it ended up being really cool. It's a timing puzzle game, and I just think it's really charming. It's one of those games that you have to play over and over again because it is frustrating and it is pretty challenging, but in a way that's like really fun, and I really like it. So I just play it on my Game Boy, and I did do some research, and it came out on the Switch as well, so I would recommend checking that out. I think it's super underrated and really fun. And an honorable mention is Battle Cats on the phone. My boyfriend was playing this game. I didn't really understand the appeal at first, and then once I started playing, I got really addicted to collecting the cats. They really give each of the cats their own little personality, which is cool, and I love how silly it is. The draft cat is my favorite because I just spam them because I like to just rush through the levels and just level up. I like playing it when I want to avoid like going on social media, but I still want to use my phone. I'll just play Battle Cats, and it's really fun. The next category is books. I got really into Goodreads this year, and I read a lot of manga. I know some people might not consider that as books, but I log them because I'm proud of myself for reading. This is like the most books I've read since I was a kid. One of the books that I especially loved is a book that I found at my local manga store, and it was sealed up. I've never heard of it before, but it's Junko Mizuno's version of Cinderella. The reason I gravitated towards it is because I really, really love the art style. I love how it has that early 2000s creepy cute style. On the back it says cute but deadly, Powerpuff Girls on acid, Lolita goth, and I just love all those things. I mean, I needed it. This is such a gem for me because I really love this art style. It's a dark retelling of Cinderella, but it also has like an erotic kind of vibe to it. What's really cool is in the back there's stickers, and there's also this like catalog thing for if you want to order this little collectible toy figure thing, and I thought that was really cool. There's also like a little interview with Junko Mizuno. I ended up checking out another book by her at the library called Ravina the Witch, and it's so beautiful. The pages are so intricate and ornate, and I highly recommend checking her work out. I think it's super, super, super cool. I also really got into Ai Yazawa's other works besides Nana and Paradise Kiss this year. I read Neighborhood Story and Last Quarter, and I thought they were really good. The thing I really, really love about Neighborhood Story, which might even be my favorite, is the fact that it's a little bit more lighthearted than Nana and Paradise Kiss, and sometimes you need that. I really love Mikako, the main character. I really relate to her. She's an aspiring fashion designer, and she, like, despite the troubles that goes on in her life and the things that she's navigating, she has these moments where she gets like fired up, and I find it very inspiring, especially if I'm like down or something. I kind of just like emulate her vibe in my head, and I'm like, I gotta just go for what I want. On top of the fact that I relate so much to her character, I just really love diving into this world where the friendships are so strong. Everyone is an aspiring artist of some kind, and they just help each other out, and they all work together, and it's just really beautiful. As I was very good at capturing this vibe that feels really real and relatable, and I love that story. On the other hand, Last Quarter, that's a heavy one, but I think it was really, really good. It's supernatural, so it's a little bit different from Ai Yazawa's typical work, but the connections and the relationships in the stories is still very much there. There's also a live action that I watched of that with Hyde, and it is pretty cheesy, but if you're a Visual Kei fan, I think that it's worth it to watch because it's pretty cool. Something that I do when I really like manga or a book, I make a playlist, so while I'm reading it, I can go back to the playlist and kind of immerse myself into that. So I did make a playlist for Last Quarter, and I did make it for Neighborhood Story, which I'll link below as well, but I think that also really helped me immerse myself into that world. All right, next I need to talk about some films. I love films so much. I have a few favorites. My first one is Time Masters. It's from 1982 by René Laloux, a director that also did Fantastic Planet, which is in my top 4. I love that movie so much. But this one is really cool. It was playing at my local theater, and it's a space adventure with some, I would say it has like a little bit of deep messaging. I think René Laloux kind of focuses on that. Sometimes people say it's a little bit, we live in a society, but I like it. Honestly, I feel like it's tasteful. And there's really cute characters like Jad and Yula. They're these like telepathic little dudes, and they're really cute, and they speak some wisdom, honestly. Next movie I loved this year was called Kyoshin. It's from 2005. It's a Japanese movie. It's nothing grand or anything. It's pretty low budget, but I think the reason why I really liked it was because I just felt really connected to how the main character navigated through her mental health issues. It's about an actress who is suffering with reality and kind of like she kind of spirals and internalizes a lot of things, and it gets pretty dark, but I think that it has a positive messaging by the end. Like I said, it's not super crazy, but the reason why I really liked it was because it really hit me, and I think that it's one of those movies that if you resonate, I think you will feel it pretty deeply. The next movie is also a Japanese movie. It's from 2009. It's called Symbol, and it's definitely pretty weird, but the way that I describe it is Saw, but for the silly geese out there. It follows this character who is just in this random room, and he presses buttons and random objects show up. With those objects, he has to find a way to escape, and he has no idea what's going on. It ends up tying together into this really grand thing that's really makes you think kind of thing, but it's definitely silly. I also really like this movie called Catnapped, also a Japanese movie. It's animated. It's from 1995. It's on YouTube for free. It's about this family that loses their dog, and then they have to go into this cat world. And if you're a cat lover, you're gonna love this movie. It's so colorful, it's so fun. The world just feels so of its own. Another movie that made it to my top 4 this year is called The Wolf House, and this is from 2018. It's a stop motion fairy tale, like documentary kind of thing, horror. It's pretty much talking about this isolated colony from Chile, and it's pretty dark. But what I really loved about it was how it was filmed. It's stop motion, but they really took advantage of the spaces that they were in. So they would have a room and they would paint on the walls and the paintings would shift and that would kind of be a part of it. I rented it from the library, and because of that, there was a director's interview kind of thing. They talked about how it would take a full day of work to get 30 seconds of footage if they were lucky. What was really, really special was the fact that they talked about how if they were working on something and it wasn't fun for them, they wouldn't do that. They would just keep following the fun. And that movie, despite its super dark theme, I think that it did a really great job of bringing out emotion and making me wonder what was going on in Chile. And I think that's really important when something can move you so much that you look into something or you learn something new. And then I also really love the idea that you can create art in any space and you can just really think outside of the box. You could just use anything that you have and just create if you have a vision and you're having fun and you have something to tell. I think that you can really create a lot of artwork, and that movie kind of will always sit with me. Thank you so much for tuning into my little world, and if there are things that you think I would like, please recommend them, because I'm one of those people that takes recommendations pretty seriously. I'll add it to my watch list, I'll add it to my queue. So if you think that something kind of falls into my lane, please let me know, because I'd love to check it out. And I hope that you would check out these too, because they're really cool. And thank you so much for being here. Have a lovely day.